Let's get ready to rumble! In this corner, we have the JibunTecho, and this quarter, we have the Hobonichi Weeks. I don't really know anything about sports other than basketball to continue that. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, so I thought I would do a comparison video between the JibunTecho and the Hobonichi Weeks, since they are both known for their weekly layouts, and we are getting close to 2019, and some of you might still be on the fence about which one you might want over the other. Hopefully you find this helpful. Let's get started. So one of the first things I'm going to talk about is breaking down your options. So the JibunTecho comes in two sizes. This is the A5 Slim, and it also comes in the B6 Slim, which is more of an equivalent to the Hobonichi Weeks in size because it is shorter and more narrow. I believe that it's just, it's definitely wider than the Hobonichi Weeks, and I think the Hobonichi Weeks actually might be a smidge taller than the B6 Slim. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to be pretending that this is the B6 Slim because I don't actually own that. I'm a first timer, and this is what I have. So if you're wondering at first, oh, well, this is so much bigger, you can get a smaller version. Now this comes in two different styles. This is the Biz, which is a little bit more monochrome and only comes with the planner portion when you purchase it. You can also get the 3-in-1, which comes with this planner. It comes with a life book, which if you're not aware of what that is, it's just a pre-prepared collection insert, as well as an idea book, which is also another insert that's just a plain grid insert. The 3-in-1 also comes with a writing board. The Biz version comes with Mio paper, which is supposed to be fast drying paper. So if you're someone who loves gel pens, this might be for you. Whereas this guy comes with the Tomoe River paper, which is not so fast acting or a lover of gel pens, but it's lovely for pretty much everything else. You can watercolor and there's no bleed through. It's fantastic. This has a cream color to it, whereas this guy does not. Now, if you're someone who's not a fan of the cream color, I'm telling you, after a while, you just get used to it and you don't notice it as much unless it's like next to something like this. And then you're like, oh yeah. If you do like the Tomoe River paper that's Bible-y thin and that you can see ghosting, but because that's a problem for some people, but you definitely don't get bleed through. This does have the 3-in-1 version that does come in Tomoe River paper. Okay, so let's break down the cost. For me, this cost $41 just with the planner, no accessories. It did come with the cover. This guy costs $17 if you buy it from the Hobonichi website. If you decide to purchase it from JetPens or Amazon, it'll run you about $24, depending on the cover you want. You know how Amazon gets, they can charge a little bit more, especially for specialty covers. So let's talk about the covers. So for the JibunTecho, depending whether you get the 3-in-1 version or you get the Biz version, the Biz version comes with a either matte or glossy cover. I chose the matte one because this is more of a faux leather texture, which I appreciate, and the other one looked very junky in my opinion. It comes with a pocket here. There is no pocket on the back, but the 3-in-1 does have a vertical pocket that you can slide your writing board into. Inside here we have 1, 2, 3 card pockets, and then you have one weird, like, I don't know, it's like oddly angled card pocket here that you can put like business cards in. And then this one comes with a pen loop. The 3-in-1 does not come with a pen loop, and it has the same configuration in the back as in the front. The 3-in-1 comes with a clear cover, and you can purchase that separately if you'd like to get one for your biz. People like the clear cover because they like to put different colored designer paper and change it up. Whereas this one you can't, it's just this color. Now it does come in a few different solid colors if you want to make a different choice than this. Now, as far as covers are concerned, especially the ones that are already designed for you, already chosen for you, the Hobonichi Weeks is the clear and super winter. Okay, you can get this in so many different patterns as well as designs, literally designed by famous artists, or solid colors if that's like something that you're into. So I love that about the Hobonichi Weeks. Plus every year they come out with like limited editions that make you want to buy them, whereas you know the Biz and the 3-in-1, they're just very plain. So yay Hobonichi. You can also purchase a clear cover for the Hobonichi Weeks. Mine is, you know, I've been using it for about a year, so it's pretty rough. But you can get this. And of course, this is more like the clear version that you can purchase for the 3-in-1. You can put designer paper in here if you want to, but most of us buy the cover that we really want and show off. So because this has white, what's really great about the clear cover is that this will protect it from getting dirty and hats. You can see that it's just lovely still. So this cover comes with a page holder, a pocket here, a pen loop, another pocket here, and then you can use this pocket and this pocket that you slide the cover into to hold other stuff as well. Both of these guys do not come with a writing board, but you can purchase them separately. So the Hobonichi Weeks, they change up the color every year, and you get a ruler on one side and some grid on the side. I think that's true of this, except they do not change the color. So for the Biz, their writing board, if you get the 3-in-1, it comes with one and it's clear and it has like a grid design on it, or you can purchase the kind of more solid colored gray one, which has a Today tab as well, but instead of on the top, their Today tab comes on the side. Both the JibunTecho and the Hobonichi Weeks come with ribbons in 2 colors so that you can mark your months in one color and your weeks in the other. I find them both utterly useless. They drive me crazy, but some people rather enjoy that. So that is a feature that they both share. So like I said, the JibunTecho does come in 2 sizes, A5 Slim and B6 Slim. The Hobonichi doesn't come in like 2 sizes as far as height and width go, but it does come in the original, which this one is, and in the Mega, which is supposed to have 3 times the pages in the back than the original. So that is important to note. So let's talk about when the planner actually starts. The 3-in-1 starts in November, so it gives you 2 months before the new year starts. The Biz version starts in December, so it gives you 1 month before the year starts. The Hobonichi Weeks starts in January, so it starts on time, although it'll give you like a month before in the monthlies, and like a week or so in December before the new year starts. Now this actually has an April start, which is amazing. So what that means is this guy, like let's say you started in a Biz and it wasn't working for you halfway through the year, or like in April or May, you could go ahead and purchase this one, and if you bought it in April, it would start in April. If you bought it in May, you'd only be missing 1 month and like a month of the weeklies, which is sort of amazing. I can't tell you how many videos I watched. I think I watched at least 3 videos that freaked me out about this, where people had bought it in like July and all of the months and all of the weeklies in here were just like wasted. I mean, I'm sure that they used them for like, I don't know, for note pages or for scratch paper, but I was like, hey, I'd rather fall off on this in the beginning of the year than try to start it in the middle. So the fact that you get 2 chances to try out the Hobonichi, as opposed to you kind of have to start it now or waste all of the pages, is sort of amazing. The other thing to note is the JibunTecho only has a Monday start. Now, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that that is true of the Hobonichi Weeks, that it only has a Monday start. However, the other Hobonichis in A6 and A5 have the option of a Monday or Sunday start. So now we can finally open these and start getting into the comparison of the actual planner. So the first thing that you'll find in the JibunTecho is that it gives you kind of an index of everything that is in the planner, and that includes all of the pre-created list pages that they've made for you, the monthly, the weekly, and then a few things in the back. They give you a mock-up of how your week can possibly look. And then we start here with the first comparison, which is the years at a glance. So you will see here that Each of these planners will give you the current year, the past year, and the year after. Now the only difference down here is that this Hobonichi gives you, I believe these are probably like holidays, which are already marked in red, but I think they give you like what they actually are, like the name of the holiday. Then we move on to where people track things, or sometimes they use this as a perpetual calendar. But so you'll see in the JibunTecho you get 2 lines per day, whereas in the Hobonichi Weeks you only get 1. Now a lot of people really love this extra space up here to write different things and track different things, whereas you don't get that here. This is a much cleaner design in my opinion, whereas this one is kind of weird because they try not to give you those days if they're not there for the month. I would prefer them to do a whole line anyway. I don't know, I'm kind of like, I just think it looks cleaner that way. So for me, not that we're trying to do an even comparison, but I like this design better. I know I shouldn't do that, but it's true. So then we get into the collections pages and things that are already pre-made for you here. I go into them in my JibunTecho Biz review if you want to see a more in-depth description of them, but here they are. All of these collections that are made for you, and then you get a blank one. So the only thing that the Hobonichi Weeks has in here that's similar to that is the My 100 page, which I showed you in, I think that's all that they have in here. Yeah, which I showed you in my NaNoWriMo setup. That you can go ahead and go onto the Hobonichi website. It's like right here in the background, and print this out as many times as you want. Then we go into the one thing that the Hobonichi Weeks does not have that the Biz does. And this is like a pretty cool little section of tracking for each month. This is a December start. So you see it starts here in December, and it's really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. I love it. I love it. And for me, this was just like a huge selling point because I am terrible at tracking things. I always start, but then I fall off. And as somebody who's a lazy planner, I don't like to draw this out all the time. So I kind of like that it's here for me and ready to go when I'm willing to try it out. Then we move on to the monthlies. So where the Hobonichi, kind of shines for me is that it is a very clean layout. It tries very hard, not just on the monthlies, but the weeklies to not be intrusive. Whereas in the Biz, it is a little busy. And the same is true of the 3-in-1. In fact, I find the 3-in-1 to be even more busy because it's super colorful. And for some reason that was really offensive to me. But some people love it. I don't know. You have these really huge dates here, whereas look how tiny they are on the Hobonichi. They're off to the side. They're trying to give you as much space to use because this is, more narrow. It's like a smaller layout, so they're trying to give you as much space as they possibly can. Whereas this guy is just like taking up large amounts, and I believe that that's true in the smaller version, the B6 Slim, which is closer to what this size is. They still make them pretty big, and you get icons here. You get these really weird, in my opinion, again, this is for Japanese businessmen that might find this more useful, but they give you some months at a glance, and I don't know why. I've always been conflicted about having the month at a glance, the same month that you're actually in, because I mean, like, here it is at a glance, right? But they give you the month before and then the month after. They do not do that in the Hobonichi Weeks, and I enjoy that because I have more space to write. You do get some tick boxes over here to the side, but again, they're just very subtle. You have some down at the bottom, which is nice, and then some at the side. Now, you can possibly ignore them, but I find it hard to ignore. I feel like I have to use these as is. Do you know what I mean? Where this is just kind of more open and free. It's like, you do what you want, which I appreciate. Now, in Japanese planners, you'll always find that Sunday is in red or like a pinkish color. I call it red because I hate pink. And then Saturdays are usually marked in here. They're marked gray, and here they're marked blue. And then they always mark the holidays in red. What's great about both of these planners is even though they are Japanese made, there is enough English that you can go ahead and read even if you didn't know Japanese, which is fantastic. So then we move on to the weekly, and the first thing you're going to notice is that in the JibunTecho, we have a vertical layout on 2 pages. And in the Hobonichi Weeks, we have a horizontal layout on 1 page, and then a memo on the other. Now both layouts give you a month at a glance. The one thing that the JibunTecho does that I think is kind of cool is if you end up with a week that has part of one month in it and part of another, it'll give you a month at a glance for both of those months. So here we have November, so they give you the November calendar, and then the last 2 days are in December, so they give you the December calendar. They also make sure to mark them with like these little tabs on the side of the page that it's not only November but also December, whereas here they don't do that, I don't believe. I tried to thumb through it, I don't think so. They just give you like the 1 month instead of 2. But I do appreciate that both of these guys do tab what month you're in so that you're always aware. So there are several differences in the layouts besides the fact that one's vertical, one's not, one's 2 pages, and one's 1 with memo. There is a quote or some kind of saying down here in Japanese taking up space that I wish I just had to write on, and a lot of times I will just take a dark pen and write over it anyway, whereas this one doesn't do that. It just utilizes the space so nicely, and it gives you more structure, whereas this one is more of a free layout, and it's like, do with me what you will. And in fact, the only thing that you get as far as structure on the right side is the one thing I can't stand, and that is this line here that divides this like section from this section. Now both of these planners do a really great job of showing you the phases of the moon throughout, so you not only get the phases of the moon for the day, the week, but also for the months, and that is true of both. Now here you end up getting icons, you end up getting time, so if you want to block off time, that's something they do here. They do not do that in the Hobonichi Weeks. Down here they have more spaces. Again, it is more structured. Down here they give you more icons, but you can adapt them however you wish. Because of the size, it feels like there's a lot more space in here than there is in here, and I think that that's going to be true of the B6 Slim that's more of this size. It's just, I think, the way they structure it. Now over here you will see these little dots, I'll pull it up, right here and right here, so that you can make columns to kind of do a vertical within your day if you wish. I like that these are already marked off for you in sections, and if you want to know more about what all of this stuff is and how I think I'm going to be using it, again, you can check out my review of the JibunTecho Biz. I really like how off to the side too you get a lot of tick boxes already for you, whereas in here again it's like, do with me what you will, and you can kind of just divide this up and change it up a little bit more, I feel, than you can here. I think again it's very clear that the JibunTecho is very busy in the week and very structured, whereas the Hobonichi Weeks is, you know, very subtle and it's very clean. So it's very free to do what you will with it. Now after the week's end, you get, I think it's something like 6 grid pages in the back that are just kind of, you know, free pages for you to do whatever you want. So if you wanted to add collections or something like that in here, you get like 6 whole pages. Now in the Hobonichi Weeks, that is where this baby shines and why people really love it. You end up getting 74 gridded pages to do what you will with them. Now they are the same design as the right side layout of the weeks, where you get that line, and that's all of the structure that you end up getting, and people love this. So if you decided that you really like the back pages for collections or for notes, you can certainly get the Hobonichi Mega that's supposed to have, I think, like 3 times as many of these pages in the back. This is another collection page that you do not get in the Hobonichi Weeks. All right, so accessories. Both of these guys have accessories that you can purchase. I've mentioned the writing boards as well as buying clear covers for both of these, but they also come with these little memo companion books. So the Hobonichi Weeks does have 74 pages in the back and then 3 times as much in the Mega. But if you find that you're running out of pages in the back and you need more, you can purchase these memos. They come 3 to a pack, and I think they're under $5 on the Hobonichi website. If you buy them from Amazon, I think they're around 12. I think that each one of these has 40 pages. This guy, I want to say, has 80. These are the companion notebooks that go with the JibunTecho, and they come 2 to a pack and are around $10 on Amazon and JetPens. So the way that this guy works is you can put these in here. You just slide them into the cover and it fits in there. You can put one in the back also. Now, if you decide to buy the Life book, which is just all of the collections, that can fit in here either in the front or the back like so. Now, I have heard, and I think it was the vegan organizer that mentioned that this was more of a traveler's notebook feel. And like I mentioned, both of these can fit into a traveler's notebook. This is more of a wide. This is a B6 Slim or a B6 if you want a little more space. And I think that's true, that it is kind of reminds me of a traveler's notebook, and right away I wanted to put it in one, but I was like, no, you're not going to do that. So either one of these, if you run out of space or you feel like you do want dailies and this does not give you dailies, you can use these memo pads for that. Same here. Because you're just having weeks and months, there's not a lot of space. So what a lot of people do is they will expand upon this by taking it out over to the side to have more space to write for that day. But if not, you can use the back pages. If you don't like the back pages, you can use a memo pad for dailies. And these guys, if you get the cover, can fit like this, or they can fit into the one pocket that you get, and that's why I put it in here and never here or in the back, because sometimes at some point I slide this into some cover or to a wallet. So I prefer to put it like here, and you can kind of do sort of the same thing. Now, as far as thickness is concerned, you're going to have a little more thickness with the Mio paper. If you get the Tomoe River paper like this one, in the JibunTecho, it's going to be thinner because this paper is like Bible thin. It's so lovely, which is why you get a lot of ghosting, because it's so thin. When it comes down to like a clear winner, I honestly think it's preference what you're choosing. I think that it's amazing that this comes in 2 sizes, because that means that if you don't like how small and narrow the B6 Slim is, again, it's going to be more like the Hobonichi Weeks in size. You can move up to the A5 if you need a little more space. If you don't find that the covers are doing it for you, you can certainly get the Hobonichi Weeks, which in my opinion is the clear winner because they have such amazing and fun designs. They both come with accessories to help them, whether it's the inserts, the Life book, or just really fun stamps and stencils. You can purchase any of those things for either one of these systems. If writing boards are important to you, you can get them in both sizes. Unfortunately with these guys, a Monday start is what you get. But if you're someone who wants to start a little bit before your year because you're itching to get in there before January, then the JibunTecho is definitely something that does that for you with a November and December start, a month or 2 months before the year even begins. If you're someone who thinks, oh man, I'm going to fall off of my planning system and I really wish there was a later start, then the spring edition that starts in April might be something that helps you. I don't think you can really go wrong with either of these systems. If you're someone who is really scared that this is starting to turn out more like a traveler's notebook and can get really thick and out of control, maybe it's best to stick with the Hobonichi Weeks. Over here, I'm hoping to find something that will work for me as far as a planning system. This did not work for me as a planner. I just couldn't figure it out. So I'm hoping with the JibunTecho that a little more structure is what I need. So maybe this is something that you use together. Maybe you're just going to choose one or the other. I don't know. Maybe I just sold both of them to you, which if I did, I'm sorry. I was just hoping to give you a review that might help you make an executive decision, because I'm always hoping that the people watching have more willpower than I do. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.